Welcome back to the Swang Low Podcast Show. It is yours truly, Duroc Crips. What's happening with all my people out there in the free world today, man? Welcome back to the round table. You know what I'm saying? As I present to y'all another story from my past. You know what I mean? I thought I would bring this to the round table, share with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And let y'all hear how crazy and interesting my life was at particular times, and you know what I'm saying, different situations, man. So I don't want to hold y'all too long, but here we go. Okay, so this situation took place right after I got out of prison, which was I got out in November of 1994. I had just paroled from Centinela State Prison level 4, right? Bam. 1994, I'm 21 years old. You know what I mean? Getting ready to soon turn 22. You know what I mean? So I'm still young. Went to prison when I was young, when I was 18, get out when I was 21. You know what I mean? I felt like I had been through some stuff in life. So anyway, I got out with like a certain attitude, like a certain chip on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Because out of the people that I grew up with, I believe I was the first to go to prison in my age bracket. You know what I'm saying? So bam, I go through what I go through. You know what I'm saying? Get out. Bam. Now I remember linking up with my homeboy Ty Bud. Shout out to mommy Ty Bud. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my um was one of my closest childhood friends. You know what I mean? As well as the homie Diamond Blue. Shout out to Diamond Blue's family. Rest in peace to the homie Diamond Blue. You know what I'm saying? He was tragically taken away from us back in 1998. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that happened to him, but he was also a childhood friend of mine, a very, very dear friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? That you growing up, you rarely seen us not around each other. You know what I'm saying? Us three specifically, me, Ty Bud, and Diamond Blue. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, now we done grew. We in our early 20s. I just get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? I believe Diamond had just got out of jail from somewhere. You know what I mean? And Ty Bud was living. You know what I'm saying? So bam, we all link up this one specific night. And I remember us sitting in front of Ty Bud's house. Sitting inside the car drinking and smoking, right? Getting faded, just reminiscing, you know what I'm saying, about our childhood and everything that we had been through up to that moment. Mind you, we in our early 20s feeling like we done been through, you know what I'm saying, World War III and back. You know what I'm saying? So we all giving different accounts of situations that happened to us, um, in that time period in our life. You know what I'm saying? So I remember as the night go on, it's getting later and later. So bam, I believe Diamond suggested, let's go out to Pomona. I know these girls, you know what I mean? We can go chill with, you know what I mean? So bam, I remember not really wanting to get into all that like that night. I do remember feeling like that, but still I let him and I let Diamond and Todd Bud talk me into going out there on that trip with them. But mind you, we are faded. We've been sitting in the car smoking and drinking all night. So we were faded, right? So bam, on our way there, we're on the 210 freeway. I'm sitting in the passenger side. Diamond was driving. Ty Bud was in the back seat. Now, these two, from the time when we was kids up until that moment, these two always argue back and forth. It was like a secret competition between these two, right? It was funny. It was crazy because you seen them do all kind of crazy stuff to each other. So anyway, this particular night they going back and forth, and I remember the conversation getting so intense because Ty Bud is in the back seat telling Diamond, you too drunk, you too faded, you can't drive, you swerving in and out of lanes and this and that. And he trying to get me to agree with him, right? They going on and on so much, my high is starting to come down. They don't realize it though, right? They messing my whole high up. So everything is starting to down. I'm starting to focus and I'm looking around and we on a freeway. And it seemed like every car that was going by us is making the car shake like this, right? We are pulled over on the freeway, on the 210 freeway. So bam. So finally, so they arguing back and forth. So finally, Diamond Blue were like, "Come on in, let me see if you can drive. Then come on." So he get in the back seat, Diamond, and Ty Bud jump in the driver's seat. I'm sitting here watching all this go down, right, in the passenger seat. Bam, this fool Ty Bud get in the driver's seat, start the car, try to drive off, don't look in his rear view, no nothing, you know what I'm saying? And just try to drive out into traffic, right? Mind you, faded out of his mind, faded, right? So bam, people that's on the freeway that's driving by, they honking their horns and all that, right? So bam, bro, stop. So he like, yeah, see, I can't drive, I'm faded. I know when I'm too faded. So I'm like, look, one of y'all need to drive this car now. It feel like my high is gone, right? Cause like I said, we on the 210 freeway. The cars just coming and going, zoom, zoom, and every car that's going by, it's like the car is shaking, and it's like this is too close for comfort for me. So I'm telling them, one of y'all need to drive this car. Come on, let's go, bro. So bam, Diamond end up getting back in the driver's side. Ty Bud hop back in the back seat and pass out. So bam, Diamond driving. We get out to Pomona, somewhere in Pomona. He stopped at a gas station and he had forgot where the girls had stayed. So he had pulled up to this gas station to go hop on the phone at the phone booth, right? So bam, this fool get out the car and go. And he called himself trying to call these females. And I'm sitting in the car watching this, right? Now, he got the phone up to his ear, but that's the only thing that's keeping him from falling out. The phone is holding him up and he's swinging, all his body is just swinging all on the phone receiver, right? That's the only thing that's keeping him from falling. So when I see he is so faded that he's like that, I hop in the driver's side myself, right? So by the time he finished placing this phone call, he looked and turned around and he see me. He like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Come on, I'm gonna drive. Come on." He like, "But you ain't gonna know what." I'm like, "Come on, I'm gonna drive. Come on, I'm gonna get us there. Come on." So he like, "Man." So he hopped in the passenger side. So bam, it's already in my head. I need to make it somewhere safe. Right? I just need to get somewhere safe where I can get all of us somewhere safe and sleep it off, right? So the closest place to that safety that I felt that I could make it without getting pulled over by the police or anything was my, at that time, girlfriend's house, who stayed right there in Glendora. So bam, I'm driving. So bam, he trying to give, a Diamond is in the passenger side trying to give directions on where I need to turn here and there, right? So I'm like, nah, it's already in my head. I remember the route he took, so I'm going back towards this freeway. And as soon as I seen the on ramp to get on the freeway, bam, I hit that. I jumped on the freeway, right? So bam, so he looking, he like, "You going the wrong way." I said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm gonna get us there. I told you I'm gonna get us there." So he looking around. He like, "No, no." He like, "On Duroc Crips, you going the wrong way." I'm like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." He like, "Man." So he sat back. He sat back in the seat, right? He didn't say nothing else. He hot, but he ain't saying nothing. So bam, I'm smashing. Only thing in my head, let me get here. Let me get here. Let me get here, right? Bam, the closer that I'm getting to her house, I'm getting happier and happier. I ain't getting pulled over by the police or none of that. I feel better about not going to jail. So bam, I make it to the city. Now I'm extra feeling good, right? So bam, but also I done been pulled over out there in Glendora just for nothing. So I know I got to get all the way inside the crib to be safe. So bam, finally make it to the destination. So I tell Diamond, I say, "Look, let me go holler at her. I'm finna see if we can spend the night and we get up out of here early in the morning. Like we too faded." You know what I'm saying? So he like, all right, all right. So I'm like, hold up right here. So bam, I get out, I go holler at her. She like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all tell them to come in. So when I get ready to go back out, I see the back end of the car hitting the corner, right? This fool Diamond had jumped in the car, bro, and took off. So I'm like, oh, mind you, the homie Ty Bud is still in the back seat, passed out. He's done, right? So bam, I'm like, man, that's crazy. So bam, I go in the house. I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, back then wasn't no cell phones like that back then. You know what I'm saying? And if it was, we couldn't afford to have one. You know what I'm saying? Cell phones at that time was the big block. You know what I'm saying? Them big bricks. You know what I mean? And only ballers had them. You know what I mean? And we was far from ballers, so we didn't have them. So there was no way to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Anything to the homie, right? So bam. The next day, I get a phone call from Ty Bud, right? Ty Bud like, hey man, like why you leave me in a car like that with Diamond? I'm like, hey, I explained to him what happened, right? So he like, man, he like, you ain't talked to him? I'm like, nah. He like, oh, so you don't know? I'm like, no what? He like, man, this fool was apparently trying to go back out to Pomona. You know what I'm saying? And was on the freeway and he ended up crashing into the center divider on the freeway and the car got smashed up like a can, right? So he said when he wrecked, he's Ty Bud is still in the back seat, passed out. So when Ty Bud by the time Ty Bud wake up, the wreck done already took place. The paramedics, the police, everybody is all surrounding the car because it's all smashed up, and he's in the back seat, passed out. He said when he wake up, glass and stuff was stuck all in his leg. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't move his leg. His leg was stiff and all that, right? So I'm like, wow. So I'm like, what happened with Diamond? What happened with Diamond, right? So he said that Diamond, instead of Diamond jumping out the car and leaving him, he said Diamond jumped in the passenger seat of the car, of the wrecked up car. He said he jumped in the passenger seat and act like he was real messed up when the police and paramedics got there and told them the person that was driving the car hopped out and ran and left them, right? So uh um Ty Bud said when he come to and realized what was going on, he said they was putting Diamond Blue on the back of the paramedics. I'm like, yeah. It's like, yeah, they was putting him on the back of the paramedics. He said, so I'm like, what they do with you? He like, man, they pulled me out the car, did a medical check on me, put me in the back of a police car, drove me down the street to a gas station, made me get out and told me to call somebody and come pick me up. I'm like, wow. So I said, so what was wrong with Diamond? He was like, nothing. He was faking the injury. I'm like, that's crazy. So that's how he got up out of that. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Luckily, the homie Ty Bud, man, just came out with a messed up leg and glass stuck up in his leg and all that. Cause during that whole thing, he was in the back seat, passed out. You know what I'm saying? Like he was gone. After they had their episode on the freeway of who can drive and who couldn't, it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? For Todd Bud, he passed out. You know what I'm saying? But that's how faded we was, man. But yeah, that happened back, in the year of 1994. You know what I mean? I was fresh out of prison. We was that faded because we was basically celebrating of the trio of us being back in each other's presence and free. You know what I'm saying? Being that we was always in and out of jail, especially me and Diamond. Me and Diamond was in and out, in and out, in and out all the time. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, we was missing each other, but we all grew up together. You know what I'm saying? That happens in a lot of different people hoods. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that story to my round table. You know what I'm saying? Give a flashback, of my younger days. You know, growing up in this game. You know what I'm saying? Being that young and going through all those different, emotions and you know what I'm saying, different transitions, you know what I'm saying, into life. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy thinking back on those times and Just the age of feeling like we was dealing with so much and had the whole weight of the world on our shoulders, and we was only in our early 20s and ain't seen nothing, ain't experienced nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's the importance of a message like this, of being able to bring a story like that to the round table. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that we was living at such a young age, not realizing that we had so much more living to do if we allowed ourselves them years to be able to live, as God intended us to. You know what I'm saying? Which is a full life. You know what I'm saying? And not be deprived of it by death or a jail cell, which, my era was plagued with death and jail. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of death and a whole lot of jail. For real, for real. But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that to my roundtable family, man. I appreciate you all for taking the time out to come sit with me. You know what I'm saying? As I bring these stories back to life for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. You know what I mean? I encourage all my Swanglow family to participate. You know what I'm saying? And engage with me, engage with each other. You know what I'm saying? We are one here. You know what I mean? We support each other's ideas, and you know what I'm saying? If you still have dreams of things that you want to accomplish or achieve in your life, we're here to support you and stand behind you and encourage you to go after it. You know what I'm saying? No matter what things may look like at the time. You know what I'm saying? If I allow, circumstances to overpower, what I know I was capable of being, you know what I'm saying? I would never have given myself the chance and opportunity to be here at this roundtable with y'all the way that I am. You feel me? But on that note, hopefully that encourages somebody out there in the free world. You know what I mean? I'm finna let y'all get back to y'all day though, man. I appreciate y'all taking the time out to consider this roundtable with me, man. Y'all take care, love each other, you know what I'm saying? To the next time we meet at this roundtable, triple gang.